Hi, my name is Dominique Vincenti and I'm the Vice President of Internal Auditing at Nordstrom. I've been with Nordstrom for the past 4 years, but actually in internal auditing for more than 20 years. I graduated from actually 2 universities. I have a Master in Finance from a French school called EDHEC, and then a Master of Management Sciences at the London School of Economics and Political Sciences. An advice for you guys, ready soon to get into the big pool of the professional world. Well, don't wait, be curious and start to network today. You are in accounting and finance, reach out to accounting and finance professionals in an organization like mine, Nordstrom or others. Here in Seattle, we're pretty lucky. We have a rich network of wonderful companies. And start to find out what finance accounting is really about. You'll be surprised, there are tons of different paths and profession in accounting and finance, or tons of different doors that leads you to internal auditing, and from internal auditing to technology or human resources or marketing. So network today so that you'll be better prepared to understand not just about the technical skills that you need to master to have a chance, but also all those other things that those organizations are looking for that are might not be represented by a credit for which you're graduating today. So be curious, be out there, don't be shy, and good luck.
Actually, I am a CIA, not the one that you obviously think about. I'm a certified internal auditor, and the acronym is actually CIA. It's a cool one, it's a dangerous one, because I have a pin and it reads CIA. And I have traveled around the world, and there's places where if you wear that pin, it's kind of dangerous. So it's better to say that you're a certified internal auditor, the full-blown name. I'm here today to try to help you to understand what's internal audit and whether this is something that you, studying accounting and finance, you might want to come to help you to understand what's internal audit, and for you later on to decide if this is something that at one point in your career you want to contemplate. Yes, they're here to engage with and assess risks, but really they look beyond risks to influence wider issues, like our organizational reputation, our impact on the environment, even the way we develop and care for our people. That's how important audit professionals are to our business. And that's just to open your appetite. You get to see that while accounting and finance is certainly very, very important, there's a lot beyond that when you decide to embrace an internal audit position. But going back to what you just said, there is an element of assessment of controls. But what's interesting about internal auditing is that it's not just about financial controls or controls that are linked to accounting and finance. It's much, much broader than that. The objective of internal audit is, it's an evaluation and assessment function. Like the FBI, we do a lot of investigation, but for the good cause, to help our company to perform as well as they could. And what we are looking at is pretty broad. As you can see here, we're here to look and assess and help improving the effectiveness of risk management, control, and governance processes. Pretty lofty, pretty broad. And indeed, behind this, there's a ton of stuff that we are involved with. To succeed in this core financial accounting world, obviously accounting skills are very important. And they are critical. You don't just have to be just good at that, you have to be really mastering those. And what we know also about financial auditing is that they live outside the organization they audit. Deloitte, who is our external auditor at Nordstrom, are obviously living outside the company. They have other clients. The partner, which is supervising the financial audit of Nordstrom, is also doing that for Starbucks and for Microsoft. So different teams, purpose, validate the financial statement and the different disclosure that the company is making, because we are a publicly traded company. So what's the difference, and is there any difference between internal audit and financial audit or external audit. Isn't internal audit just doing the same thing but within one organization? Not exactly. As I started to allude to before, the scope of what we're looking at is much broader. Finance and accounting is a very small piece. Some internal audit groups have part of their responsibility to assess internal control of financial reporting, referred as SOX, the Sarbanes-Oxley Act compliance. Even, it's the case in my team, I have a small team that is looking at this. This is 10% of what my internal audit group is looking at. So there's 90% of something else beyond internal control over financial reporting. It covers topics such as efficiencies and effectiveness of processes, lots of different processes. Let me talk to you about a few audits that are currently being done or that have just been completed by my team or done this year. Earlier this year, I had a team that audited the social networking at Nordstrom. More recently, I had a team that looked at the processes around the governance of our major technology-enabled initiatives. I have another team that more specifically looked at the strength of our IT security and privacy program. Needless to say that with what happened with Target, you can imagine that this is pretty important. I had another team who looked at some HR issues, in particular the processes that we had in place to manage what we call workforce planning. Purposefully, I choose topics that have nothing to do with finance and accounting. Having said that, sometimes in those topics, knowing and having very strong finance and accounting background is extremely important. For example, I mentioned the work that a team recently done in project governance. Part of governing properly a project involves making sure that all the way through, even on the financial side of the projects, things are working as they should. And obviously understanding the financials of a project is a skill that the team needs to have. So based on this broad scope, what I need in my team is lots of diverse skills. And actually one person cannot do it all. For me to be able to audit IT security, I need people that comes with strong technology background. For me to be able to audit certain processes and efficiency processes, I need people that comes with much more, I don't want to say engineering, but process type of professional background. I obviously need a lot of people that also have skills in accounting and finance, but what's fun about internal audit is that it's a mix of people coming from all kinds of different backgrounds, working together, hence also helping each other to develop in new skills. Needless to say that I have a few CPA in my team. They help the non-CPA and the non-finance and accounting people to raise their skills in that domain. But equally, my CPA have learned a lot about other skills that they would have never learned about before.
I thought Dominique Vincenti was a really great speaker. I learned, it changed my stereotypes about internal audit, where I thought that they were sort of the hated part of the company, but I learned that really they help assess risk, and I also learned about all the different groups she's been in, and I didn't know that internal audit was so broad and that it could be used in so many places of the company.
I thought Dominique Vincenti was such an awesome speaker. I learned a lot more about internal audit than I had ever known. I always thought it related just to finance of a company, and I learned that it encompassed a lot more than that. You know, she talked about auditing social media and what that meant for Nordstrom, which I had never considered to be a part of internal audit.